Let's talk about eagle pose for a second. You might ask yourself, why is Stuart sitting in hero's pose when he's talking about eagle pose? Well, that's the first thing. Make sure you warm up and you set yourself up for success, because most of us don't spend much time with our legs in internal rotation. And certainly as a man, I don't spend very much time with my leg adducted so far that it comes past the other leg. And they're both critical actions for eagle pose. So warm up with those two actions in mind. Now, most classes I've been to, the entry to eagle pose, at least for the legs, I won't talk about the arms just now, the legs are basically put your weight in one leg, other leg, cross over the knee. Sometimes they'll get you to sit down, sometimes not, but bring that leg back and then try and hook the toe around. Now, that's as far as I can hook there. So I can bend down, I get a little bit further, my toes are kind of on the back of my calf. There's obviously lots of modifications, you don't have to go that far, but if we have the goal of going as deep into the eagle as possible, then this isn't going to cut it. The secret is all in the other leg, the inside leg, not the outside leg. So it's not a matter of wrapping the outside leg round as much as you can and getting whatever twist you need on that. It's the other leg. There's a few different ways of getting this, but you need internal rotation. So you can either do that by, if I was using external cues, point your toes to the other foot and your heel out away from you, or you can do similarly with the hips, depending on which way you want to be facing when you finish. So keep your feet where they are, twist your hips to face the left in this case. I'll do it here so you can see better though. Okay, so that leg is internally rotated. I bend it and I put my weight into it. Now this leg, the key is to bring the knee as high as possible, not as crossed as much as possible to begin with. And when it's as high as possible, you then send it across and you simply bend the knee back. Now what's happened here, my foot's gone backwards. I then lower that leg down. Now, if you're using as an excuse for not getting deep into eagle that your quads are too big or your thighs are too big, then at this point, my thighs are not even touching. So that's unlikely to be the case. And if you're using the excuse that your calves are too big, then at this point, my foot is way above my calves there, and my calf here is pointing straight upwards. Unless it's a very wide calf, it's not going to be a problem. Now, bend the wrapped leg down a little bit. And if I move sideways, as you can see, that foot's kind of pointing back. And that's the only action I've gone for at the moment. And then, when I straighten this top leg a bit, look where my foot goes. It's hooking on my calf. And it's not because I've got internal rotation in the top leg. The top leg is pretty much neutral at this point. In fact, I could even do it reasonably externally rotated. And my foot is hooked. And that's because I've moved this leg out of the way. I can then wrap the toes, find my balance, do whatever shenanigans I want with my arms. And then to come out, rest. And that's it. Top leg is not the key, but that's the one that gets cued in class all the time. Bottom leg is the key. Look for internal rotation. That's my tips for eagle.